And I say welcome everybody. Welcome to our Thursday's governance call in the IOTA Discord. We are mostly talking at this times about the Shimmer Governance Framework, and basically we are on a point that we can say we have reached a stage that all open questions are cleared as far as I see it. But we should use this call again to go maybe through the bullet points and see if we are still find things that we need to talk about or discuss. Um, and then we would be basically ready to present this proposal because it's still an idea of how we think this should work. That we can present this to the community and have the community put up some questions and then put this up for a vote in once the Shimmer network is live. And so then we would have a, a set of rules, like a constitution, basically, for how to do governance into Shimmer network, how the community can participate, can propose ideas, and can come to decisions on those ideas. All of this is packed in this governance framework document that has now reached a quite large stage of how much are we? I think we have now 36 pages full of information and rules and all kind of topics discussed there. But I think we have done an amazing job in this group here. Mm, kind of discussing and going through all, even the worst edge cases that we can think of, we have covered here. So there shouldn't be any surprises once this framework goes live. Surely there will be still things to adjust because we're just getting started with governance, and this is all based on theoretical discussions and thought processes, but nothing of this has been really tested in the life. So we also have prepared that this process is kept open for changes and for also for easy changes in some parameters of the framework. Um, Let me check through. So the last thing that we had discussed during the week and on Tuesday was the topic um, of the counter proposals. And I have added this, how we have discussed it last Tuesday. I've added it to the document today. So counter proposals, to clarify, would be something that once a topic is discussed in the governance forum and it finds some support and maybe it will move to phase two where it become poll, it can always happen that somebody else is wants to tackle the same objective but with a completely different approach maybe. Somebody says, okay, that's like what you're proposing, I really don't like it. I would do it completely different. And then this person can submit a counter proposal into the governance forum. And if this counter proposal fulfills all the requirements that we have set for a normal proposal, it will be accepted and also displayed in the forum. And then basically the community has 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 different approaches to discuss how something can be solved. A thing that is important that we have defined is that we say that a counter proposal must be named as a counter proposal. Yeah, so you can't just assume that everybody understands that your proposal is an alternative idea to what somebody else has proposed. You really need to say directly in your proposal, okay, this is a counter proposal. Against the proposal, and you just put the link of the ongoing discussion into your proposal. Otherwise, you will not be able to qualify for the process that we have laid out here. Um, and so once we have these two or even more opposing opinions, we still follow our process. Yeah. So once the original or also the counter proposal, basically the original proposal has reached 50 likes or 50 votes in a poll in phase one, it would qualify to become a phase two um, poll. And then the proposal would need to be defined using the template, and then there would be a 7-day poll in the forum between all forum members if this should go to a Firefly vote. And if there is a counter proposal, um, then this counter proposal has time this 7 days to reach also 50 votes or likes in phase one. If it does not reach this 50 likes, and then it's not considered um, a strong supported opinion in the community, and basically it then would be automatically declined, and the original proposal would just go through the usual way as if there wasn't a counter proposal. But if the counter proposal reaches 50 likes, then we have defined that it would need to go into a runoff poll with the original proposal. Yeah, so then we will create after the 7 days are finished of the first poll, we would create a second poll where the two options that are discussed will go into a standoff directly against each other. And the runoff poll will only contain the original proposal and the the counter proposals, and it will not include the option of make no changes. So that really people will only have to decide between which of the two options should finally go to a vote. And still the same rules apply here. So it needs to reach 100 votes in favor of the proposal to win this runoff poll. Yeah, if this 100 votes in favor are not reached, then basically both proposals are finished. Yeah, and I think that's basically all what we have discussed in the last week. Yeah, so still it needs to follow all the same rules like we have defined as the usual rules for proposals. And I've added something just to have this also covered, because if we would say, okay, the counter proposal has failed in the runoff poll, I would say we will automatically need to put it under the same rules like the general delay guidelines, so that it cannot be directly submitted again in the same season. So basically, it would need to wait until the beginning of the next season to bring this same topic up again as a new proposal. Yeah, so I just put it here so that we don't come to the thing that somebody says, okay, I just lost the runoff poll, but I'm directly resubmitting it as a new proposal. Um, directly after the poll. Yeah, so this is something, then we just put it under the same rules that we say for all proposals that have been declined. They can't be submitted in the same season. And if they are declined 2 times, they have to wait 2 seasons, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, I think this is what we have discussed in the last Tuesday meeting. I would really hope if anybody has time to go through this part and basically all parts of the framework again, so that we can be sure that we have basically made all things correct and as we have stated and decided in the meetings before. Yeah. Did I put it correctly there, or does anybody has any objections so far? Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Um, okay,
I don't have an objection, but an addition.
yes.
This is what happens. Let's say there was a proposal, and it was on Firefly, and it was passed, so it's completely done.
Hmm.
Now there's a new proposal which basically conflicts with something that was already decided on. Do we want any special procedure for this, or we just say if the new proposal passes, then the old one is overridden?
Mm, we have basically the rule. So if it this would say this basically um, talks about the same topic, but wants something different than the already decided proposal. And for this we have,
Exactly. It would basically be a
yeah,
counter proposal, but the
submitted
proposal,
later.
the
Yes.
initial one is already through the
Yeah.
entire
Um,
workflow.
I think we have covered this with our rule that the same you cannot submit a proposal um, about a topic that has just been voted on. So you will have to wait minimum until the beginning of the next season to bring this up. Yeah, I think we could cover it with the rule of this um, resubmittal delay. Mm, so here we said,
Well, and
uh,
and I think we said the community. I mean, I think we can rely on the community to kind of almost. I don't want to say police, but manage itself. Like, you know, we know that if for whatever reason, let's say a proposal goes through, and then essentially, even if they wait the season and the delay or whatever, and submit another proposal that's going to counteract the previous proposal, I mean, there's got to be a sufficient reason on why that counteraction is even being proposed.
mhm,
If it's simply a sort of a spam or something that's going to hurt the ecosystem. One, that would go against guiding principle, but two, also, the community is going to go, well, hey, we just passed this 2 seasons ago and it's working great. Why would we want to change it?
yeah,
Unless the aspect is we passed this 2 seasons ago, but we need to tweak it
mhm,
to make it better, more efficient, more whatever better for the ecosystem.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I
That
think,
would be
yeah,
that's the case I'm talking about. Like somebody says,
mhm,
"Hey, I'm proposing like a change in the government
mhm,
structure and
mhm,
saying
mhm,
we have made some experience with this. There's like a problem with that, so we need to tweak that."
yeah. This
right.
Is there
this
And I
any
mean,
can,
special process? And that's what was also my question. Is there any special procedure for topics that
we
were already decided on? We have
we
these resubmitted delay, that's fine,
yeah.
but other than that,
we we have the emergency proposal. So, like, let's say we pass something, and a week later, the legality of that, whatever, let's just say all of a sudden, whatever was passed a week ago was found to be illegal by jurisdiction in some country or whatever, would have a negative effect on the ecosystem. Um, Even though we're not past that season, we can still follow the emergency proposal, which ASA wrote up. And emergency proposals are strictly for that. Like,
Mm,
hey, this is this is actually emergent that we bypass the season delay timeline and that we get this passed because it's detrimental to the Shimmer IOTA assembly
yeah,
ecosystem.
yeah.
And if that reasoning is there, then again, we have 48 hours to do 200 likes or votes, or maybe it takes a little longer, whatever. But if the
Mhm,
community looks at that and goes, oh yeah, this is detrimental, we need to change this right now rather than waiting for a full season or 2 seasons, then
mhm.
that's the process in place there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think also it's I will add this because here in the resubmittal delay we basically only talk of direct resubmittal of proposals um, that intend to change the recently made decision. Um, this can be interpreted as something that is, mm, yeah, like a counter proposal or something. I think we can just add here that if it's not falling under the emergency proposal rules, we we will every every proposal um, that wants to change something that has been already been decided um, needs to wait minimum until the next season after the change has been implemented. Yeah.
Especially for the governance too. I think did we write in there because if I remember correctly,
Mhm.
did we get written in there where moderators and admins in the first year can or just generally can change
Yes.
the governance within the season, and then at the
Yeah.
season the community
Yeah.
solidifies it.
Yeah, we have this for some parameters for this one, but this maybe I mean most of the parameters are touched in here. So basically, the moderators can propose these changes without going into a Firefly vote. But maybe still there might be some edge cases that are not covered here. Mm, and so that maybe somebody wants to propose something that basically the moderators don't want to change, but still it can be a legit proposal to say, okay, we want trust level one metric changed to this and this and that. Even if the moderators don't agree, um, it should be possible to propose this for the next season. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I'll check with the text to clarify what Werner mentioned to make it clearer. I'll just add another sentence there so that we have covered this also, that it doesn't speak only about resubmitting of proposals that have been declined. Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt like this point wasn't addressed yet.
Mhm. Yeah, cool.
We just have to be careful to not have too much judgment in the moderators. I think that
Yeah.
starts falling in that gray area, and I think we should count on the community for some of that stuff. But if anything, we can kind of see how it goes and see if any of these things even fall in that gray area. But
Yeah, I think we should always allow with the start of a new season. Um, we can always allow new addressing such topics again. Yeah, but it's really if it's just something that has been voted on 2 weeks ago, then okay, if it's not really life-changing emergency stuff, which very likely we won't have to address with this framework, then it can wait until as a proposal for the next season then, and can be implemented in the new season. Yeah, or it is something that is can be changed by the moderators in lazy consensus mode. Then anyway, it can be implemented, and then for the new season established by a vote of the community.
mhm.
Good.
Cool.
What else? Let me just skip through some of the things. I will basically what I will do over the weekend. I will definitely go through the whole text again, see if I forgot something to add somewhere, or if things don't align now with the little changes that we done here and there. And if anybody of you has time to go through it, would be also great. Just whatever you find, just comment in the document so we can adjust these small things. But basically, I think we've talked about most of the things. We can also look in our open question document if there was still something left over. But also, I haven't seen anything there that we haven't addressed as far as I remember. So maybe we can go through ASA's little graphics to see how this looks now if we want to have some additions or something.
Mhm.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure. Should I share my screen?
Yeah, just share your screen. There
All
you
right. Now I think
go.
you can see the infographic, right?
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, basically I changed the colors so that because we had this suggestion to make it a little bit more distinguishable. So I did, for example, here on phase one, then everything is with the orange,
Yep.
like the lines and these ones, and this line that goes here is quite thin. And then when you go to phase two, yellow, and this line is a little bit thicker,
Hmm.
and then phase three,
There were a few
green.
points that were off center. I'm triggered by that.
Sorry.
Same here.
We
Yeah, in
can
phase two there were some points moderator off center, and I'm triggered by that.
we
Well,
can give this to the design department to have it perfectly aligned.
There.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't trigger me, but I do see it, and I was like, oh damn, he's right.
But wait, which ones are these?
Down, one down.
You see the point?
The
Yeah,
proposal submit. No,
Oh,
up.
oh, this.
There.
there's a bit off.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's true. Good
you
catch, good catch.
if
Okay,
you look
now
at
I
it
think
actually,
it's right.
you
I
you
think the
basically
one
have
overhead is
someone.
also a little bit off center. I
Well,
think
Now
we
it's
need somebody
totally
to look
completely
at it.
aligned. Yeah.
well, rather than you fix it, why don't people just screenshot the screen and then we can rip it apart because we're awful people.
Mm,
uh,
Okay,
yeah, but
jokes
it's
aside,
good to have
let's
it's
talk
good to have a
about
detailed eye. Yeah.
Hmm.
the content and not the layout.
Mm.
Yeah.
that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I think like basically this was updated in the call 1 week ago. I did the changes there, but let's go through one more time so we have this. So I will just run through the different steps in the phases. So in phase one discussion, the summary is that in this phase, proposal idea used and passed to the next phase by the moderator if they meet the guidelines and receive enough support. Any comments?
Oh, all fine.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so the steps, proposal submitter. Proposal idea is introduced by a post in the forum from a forum member with minimum trust level 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next step, the moderator approves the proposal in governance proposal and phase 1 category.
Yep.
Hmm.
Actually, maybe it's good to write subcategory for clarification, right?
I think you can
Or is
leave
it
it.
fine?
Think you can leave
Uh,
it with category. I'm not sure how basically how they are called in. I think it's still a category, not a subcategory.
mm,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, then the proposal received 50 positive votes slash likes from the community on discourse. And if a proposal in phase 1 has no activity for 4 weeks, it is moved to the archive. And we
Yep.
also discussed last meeting that there are certain proposals, for example, if it was, um, yeah, like if it's like sexistic or like racist or something, then it shouldn't even be in the archive. But I think we aligned on that we will not mention this in the infographic since it's a little bit too long, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, the deal was especially if a proposal does not make it into trust level 1, which in this case, if it's racist or so, then a moderator won't approve it.
yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
just, if a proposal does not make it into phase 1, then it's It
Yeah.
has never been in the
Then
proposal
it's not
flow,
even
and
gonna be in
it's
phase one. Yeah,
Yeah.
true. It's not even gonna be in phase one. You're right.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you don't honestly need to say something more like, "Oh, you can't be awful and racist." It's something that should probably already be known, probably. Uh,
better mention it.
yeah,
Yeah.
But it should be obvious. That's correct.
yeah, but you could
Yeah.
also do it on a separate kind of infographic later if it actually becomes an issue.
With
Uh,
guidelines. Yeah. Okay. So requirements. The post should discuss one of the parameters that are open for governance. The proposal meets the guiding principles. Proposal is submitted by a forum member with minimum one. And then it says phase one doesn't include any formal requirements. And denied is spam. The proposal doesn't talk about topics open for governance. The proposal has no engagement for over 4 weeks. And the proposal does not reach a minimum of votes likes.
Yep.
Time frame. Thought someone was saying something.
Mm.
Anyway, time frame IDs can be posted on the forum at any time. The decision making to move to the next phase is 50 positive votes slash likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, that's the phase one, orange, and then yellow. Actually, I wanted to take red, but then I thought like the emergency proposal is better to be red, so I took orange.
Yes.
Okay, yellow is phase two, temperature check. In this phase, the proposal is a finalized concept ready to be voted on by the community and should not be possible to edit anymore.
Yep.
Um,
Exactly.
mhm. Steps. The proposal submitter writes a post for a phase two proposal in governance proposal, phase two subcategory, following the proposal template.
Yeah.
I would change this also to category so we don't have both subcategory and category. And the next step, the proposal submitter is the responsible. The poll contains two different options. A passive option, in other words, make no changes, should also be included.
Should we maybe include the end date has to be set? Like a
Uh,
specific date. I don't know how we call it.
yes, we should definitely mention that the poll has to end, or basically the poll is 7 days. So the poll will run 7 days. And
It's mentioned down here in the
yeah, good.
time frame,
Yeah, good. That's good. Yeah.
but maybe we can also say sets the date or
Yeah, I mean, this might be too much detail again there. If we mentioned it down there that it's a 7 days poll, I think that works. Yeah.
okay. And then the next step, the proposal is approved by the moderator. At this point, the wording of the proposal cannot be changed anymore.
Yep.
And then the next step is that the proposal received 100 votes in favor of the proposal from the community in discourse. And if the proposal does not receive 100 votes in favor of the proposal during 7 days, yeah, it is moved to the archive after 7 days.
After 7 days. Yeah. Maybe formulate this a little bit different, because I think it would be better if you write if it doesn't receive 100 votes in favor of the proposal during 7 days, it is moved to the archive. Yeah. Sounds
Mm-hmm.
sounds more logical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. And then the last step, the proposal submitter and the moderator. On request of the proposal submitter, the moderator moves the proposal to phase three.
if all requirements are met, or basically if it has reached the 100 supporting votes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we have the table with requirements. The poll must include a make no changes option. It follows a defined structure as described in the proposal templates. No edits allowed. The text that will be used in Firefly vote, in the Firefly vote is already specified.
Yeah.
And the proposals are submitted in the phase 2 category, minimum 24 hours prior to the start of the next poll run.
Yep.
Does that sound good to everyone?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
Okay. And then denied, that doesn't reach the required votes polled in 7 days. Time frame, the poll duration is 7 days. Exceptions such as during holidays as well as emergencies to be defined. And the phase 2 starts on Mondays as a rule.
Yep. Okay.
And then decision making to move to the next phase, 100 votes in favor of the proposal.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then phase 3, then I kept this green in the shimmer colors because this is when it's all finalized, kind of, almost.
Mhm.
So this phase serves as an announcement post informing that a vote will happen in Firefly. And yeah, so here everything is green, and this one is a little bit, it's the thickest. If you want, I can make it like even more thick. I just thought it maybe looked like a little bit too thick, but let me know like after what you think. So the first step is that the announcement post in the forum that a proposal, yeah, the moderator makes an announcement post in the forum that a proposal will be voted on in Firefly.
Yeah.
Next step is that the voting is implemented in Firefly. For the transfer, the exact wording of the question is used without modification in Firefly.
Yep. That's the stuff that is already part of the proposal template. Yeah. But we don't need to write it there. It's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then node operators are implementing the counting.
This is maybe something I'm just thinking about shortly. This node oper This is something I'll define a bit. I'll make a part how we basically going to make the participation event in GitHub, and maybe also make a call out to the node operators that they should implement this. Maybe we should have a Twitter account for the moderators or something that we can just first of all send out a tweet that there is a vote happening in Firefly on Thursday, and also a tweet or something that we call out the community node operators to take the event from the GitHub repo if they want to take part in the counting. That should be something that either the mods do, or I mean we also could make it from the comms department, but I think it would be better if the Shimmer governance itself would have its own Twitter account to do some of those important announcements.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Should I maybe delete this for now, this step?
No, keep it there, keep it there.
Keep it, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It just a detail how we're going to inform the node operators.
Okay. Um, so after that step, it is the vote receives simple majority with 5% quorum during a vote duration of 14 days. And after that, last step is cool down 7 days before execution.
Yep.
All right.
Sounds clear to everyone? Yeah, there was this point in the requirements that about the participation event, who is creating this. Would you suggest that we confirm this now, or should I maybe remove this point for now?
No, it should be basically we still would want to require the submitter to do this, but we always have said if the submitter is not able to do this technically, even with help of our guide or whatever, then we of course can help. Yeah, I mean we have skilled moderators. It's really a if you know how to do it, it's a very, very simple task. But still, if somebody says this too whatever, too scared or too not sure how to exactly do it, we will always be able to help in creating the participation event.
Yeah. Okay. So should I maybe mention this here, like if needed, moderators and admins are
Yes.
available for to help.
Yeah.
My assist. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
The requirement checked by minimum 2 moderators or admins, and must include the option make no changes and the exact same text as the phase 2 poll.
Yep.
Which
And
phase is this for?
That's the Firefly vote.
it's phase 3.
Okay. Didn't we say one moderator, one admin?
Ah, yes. Yeah, it needs to be
Okay.
either two moderators or one moderator and one admin.
Yep.
Not
Yep.
not
Yeah.
not two
Oh, okay.
admins. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
By either 2 admins, 2
Two
moderators.
moderators
Yeah.
or
Or one.
one
One admin, one moderator.
one mod, one
Cool.
admin. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. And then must include the option make no changes. Yeah, exactly. That's the one I already mentioned. And denied option make no changes reaches the simple majority of votes,
Yep.
or it does not reach. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. Go on. All good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then does not reach 5% quorum of maximum achievable votes,
Yep.
or canceled through an emergency proposal during the 7-day cooldown period.
Exactly.
Perfect. And time frame, the vote duration is 14 days, 7 days pre-vote plus 7 days counting period.
Yep.
And the decision making to move to the next phase is Firefly vote, simple majority wins, and must reach 5% quorum of total possible votes.
Looks good.
Okay, perfect. And does anyone have any remarks on colors or something else that you would like to distinguish with? Maybe like also color on the text or like um, thicker lines
It looks great.
or different colors.
Same here. I think that looks really good.
Perfect. I'll share this as well in Discord channel when I share the notes so that everyone can see and we confirm this now.
Yeah, cool.
I was going to suggest a few things, but everyone said good, so now I don't want to.
No,
Come
no, no.
on,
Come
don't
on.
be
Yeah.
shy.
Okay. So, it depends how much of a nitpicky person do I want to be. It's mostly just a few kind of space and grammatical errors I find. So I
Oh,
guess it might be
okay.
better.
Yeah, please.
If you're okay with it, maybe it'd be best since it's such a nitpicky kind of innocuous stuff. It might be better to do it in a more private conversation.
Yeah,
Whatever you would
sure.
want though.
Or maybe
Um,
if she posts the file,
oh yeah, then yeah, that's even
yeah, you
easier.
can
Yeah.
just add some
Yeah.
comments on the file.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be be way easier than going through around 10 very small things.
Ah,
For sure.
Yeah.
yeah, like as you prefer. If you prefer to like I post the infographic and you just write a list,
Mm.
or that we have a call. For me, it's all good. Like whatever option.
Sounds good. I appreciate that. Thank you. Uh, yes.
So I'll
Yeah.
post it now in the I'll post it now in the channel after the call, and then you can just ping me. Or I mean, if you want to jump on the call, I'm also happy to do that.
Sure. Sounds great. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Otherwise,
Amazing. Hmm?
otherwise looks pretty snazzy.
Thanks.
Good. So, my friends, I think that sounds pretty well. Um, what would be our next steps? So, I'm still waiting for. Yeah.
Fine. Real quick, I checked out Notion for the master kind of log sheet.
Yes.
Anything, I thought it was actually really cool. I looked at the spreadsheet and how you can make a web page out of it.
Yeah.
Definitely a little bit snazzier than something like Google Sheets.
Hmm.
The only thing didn't see is it doesn't really do formulas. I didn't spend that much time on it, and it was just a free account. But do you think it can do automatically adding the unique identifier number just as in a formula, or we can pre-populate the rows
I
and just fill those in? I
think
mean,
what you can do, you basically you can embed a Google Sheet into a Notion page. So you could do it,
oh, okay.
yeah, if you want to have real formulas working, you can have an embedded sheet there. But I think basically we won't need it because we can just, like you said, pre-populate the first 50 proposal numbers
Right,
and then do it there.
right.
Yeah, and I really also I like Notion because it has some. I mean, first of all, it has some cool features. You can have you can have your own name for the website, basically for the URL. So you can have
Mm-hmm.
something that you can have something like shimmergovernance .org or something like that as the
Mm-hmm.
URL. And it has it looks, like I said, it looks nicer than just a Google Sheet because it has this website style like features. Maybe a really good idea. Also, maybe something that we could use if we have maybe something like frequent calls where we could post the notes there.
Mm-hmm.
We could generally also keep track of updates through the seasons and stuff like this. So I think having a Notion page for this makes really sense, and it's a very good tool. And once we would have the treasury available, because it can, there is also a paid version which costs $10 per month for per member, but it's pretty worth to have the paid version because then you have quite a lot of really cool features. And then this, I'm thinking, is pretty easy that the community will sponsor this for $200 a year or something like that to have a
Right.
proper designed Notion available for that.
Yeah. Okay.
What
Cool.
we have to ask the community, of course, for this. If they are snarky with the, then we have to keep it cheap.
Sure, sure, sure. I mean, the $10 a month probably won't. I mean, I could always
Yeah,
fund
yeah,
that.
and yeah, but it's like, I mean, it's then for let's say for 5 6 people, um, or it's not even $10 a month. I think it's even less. I have to look.
Yeah,
We have several plans in the foundation running.
sure, sure.
Good. So, like I said, I'm still waiting for the final confirmation on the scope of governance from research engineering, but this shouldn't hinder us in general to move forward with this whole thing. Um, Basically, what we will need to do now is prepare some guides, or step by step prepare some guides. Um, and how to do this? I mean, this is something that I'm going to take on my schedule. Um, about the structure, let me just share my screen shortly. Where is it? Here. About,
Um, just
yeah.
just real quick, while we're kind of getting all the odds and ends,
Mhm.
do you think there's a process where you can get ASA's PDF sort of reviewed by whoever needs in the IF to give the okay for us to start putting it out on social media under the statement that, hey, this is just an idea, it's not finalized, it's
Oh, this
to
is
to
we don't
be
need
worked on.
we won't need any green light from anybody there because this doesn't contain anything that concerns it's I mean it's all basically just a TLDR of what we have in the governance framework. So we
Right.
can
Okay.
directly go on with that. There's nothing in ASA's doc that would basically concern the foundation. It's a
Okay.
nice way of basically promoting the short version of what we have designed here, and to
Yeah.
share this through the community so that they basically know already what we are doing. Because then we can really also um, we should make a post in the governance framework, in the governance forum where we will propose the whole document. So I'll just do the work of copying the 36 pages Google Doc into one post here in the governance topic, so that we basically have it documented there. I'm sure we will get some discussions and comments around that. Um, and then once we have this, we should uh, basically move it into a poll. Yeah, maybe do a poll in the governance forum, um, and see if there is general support on this whole thing. Um,
Hmm.
and then once Shimmer goes live, if we have a support in the poll, then we will make a vote with Shimmer tokens on this whole thing.
And we'll do the poll in the standard governance right now, like
That
rather than the new
that
test
was
area.
basically, I think, yes, because I mean we have all the stuff prepared here. I will also add some more topics in the test space there, and then basically once it has been approved, we will just rename this test environment into Shimmer Governance,
Right.
and
Right.
basically make this um, the new go-to space for anything that happens in the forum, and we will just
Yeah.
archive all the old discussions, um,
Yeah.
put it here into proposal archive, and so we have it all still documented there. What
Okay.
I'm also trying to prepare, or what I'm going to prepare, is some pinned posts here, um, where we basically will have a pinned post with what we have down here. Here we have about the treasuries test space category. This post we will potentially use as to put in FAQs, to put in ASA's documents, so that people have a easy, quick way of finding the rules of how the governance forum works, and how they're going to make a post in phase one, how they can continue to move it into phase two, and all the things. We should have this as a pinned topic here, always available
Yeah.
in the forum, so that people can
And the
easy
big
find
one,
it.
how to get trust level one so that they can
Yes, yeah,
post and
yeah,
or vote. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, like a
Cool.
real explanation of how the whole forum works now. What is required to become a Trust Level 1 member? What is required to make a post topic? How blah 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 blah. So this is we should spend some time in writing some nice explainers around that, doing some screenshots and stuff like this, and all put it here in a pinned post so that it's easy to find for everybody.
Awesome.
Cool. What else? Are there any questions in the audience? Anything that anybody wants to discuss or didn't understand or wants to bring up as a topic here? No?
Lazy consensus, I'd say.
Lazy consensus. That's really good. Okay, let's do it like that. Let's take the weekend and let's meet again on next Tuesday. If there are no objections to the Google Doc until then, we should then go public with it after the Tuesday session, I would say, yeah. So give me time over the weekend to go through it again, and maybe I'll go for some spelling and grammar and stuff like this, and basically really check that everything is aligned and everything makes sense, that no old stuff has been forgotten somewhere. Because I mean, yeah, it's like a long doc, so there might be somewhere something forgotten or missing. And if not, and then if some of you had the chance to also go through it again and have no red flags, then we should really go out into the broader IOTA community with this whole thing. We can be proud of what has been achieved here because this was really great work over the last, I don't know, 10 weeks or what we are now spending here together in the sessions, and this has developed quite well into a really detailed set of rules that I think every community in the Web3 space can be proud of having such a very well designed and defined framework. And so we can then push it out into the community, see what feedback we get. Um, but basically, we also should be bold and say we will not take any little nippy picky feedback as a serious issue that will cause us another 4 weeks of discussions. Because I think we have been very, very open. We have been very, very also loud and frequently trying to get people involved in taking part in all these discussions. And I think we then just have to be bold and push it towards a vote and let the community decide if they want to start with something like this or if they want to spend another 3 months in discussing certain topics or points in this, which basically it will basically never end if we keep it in the discussion and in the discussion. I think we really have to have something in place once Shimmer goes live that everybody can use and that solves as the foundation thing, and we can adjust it along the way. Yeah.
I think that's the key point in if we can differentiate whether it's like, hey, that's a grammatical error, let's fix that before we go live, versus, oh, that process is totally screwed up and
Yeah.
you could do it this way. Well, the whole governance framework is actually set up for that. So once we go live, again, this is just the basis to get going, a foundational structure.
Yeah.
But once it goes live, those people that actually think that it should be changed, they absolutely can submit their proposal, and if the community backs it, then it will be changed. So
That's
it's an ever evolving, organically agile structure.
yeah. That's
This
the
is
thing.
just a
Yeah, we
yeah, it's
we
not
just
set
have
in stone.
to we just have to get the first version out, and after that, it's in the hands of the community. If we just follow the rules that we said, everything can be changed if enough support is gathered in the community on a certain topic. Yeah, nothing is here fixed and set in stone forever, and that's the good thing. Yeah, that like you said, we have to get it out and approved for the first version, and then everything, if people want to change stuff, they just follow the process, and if they find enough support in the community, things will be changed following the guidelines and the rules that we have set here. Amazing. What else? We have our little schedule for Friday evening. JD and Andy and whoever wants to join, we will go a bit into the details of the forum. Yeah, we're gonna do some tests there. We're gonna write some posts and do some polls and things like this, and see. I also want to test out with you how the moderator functionality works. If you get the notifications and things like this. So that's what time did we say, JD?
I remember correctly, I wanted to say it was 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Pacific,
Something like it
which I
was.
want to say put
Yeah,
you at 10
it
a.m.
it was 10 a.m. for me. Yeah, so that
Yeah.
should fit for 7 or 8 p.m. Yeah, cool. And anything else, I think we will discuss on Tuesday. If anybody has any suggestions over the weekend, just use the comment function in the document or post something in the channel here. Kind of, let's say, last chance to get edits into the, let's say, the pre-final version that we're going to propose to the community. I'll also going to start to write the blog post for that the IF will publish then once we put this for I think the blog post should go live with putting this whole thing up to a poll in the governance forum. So maybe this is something that will happen in 2 weeks. Until then, blog posts should be ready and finished. Also, if anybody wants to write something, I know Werner, you thought about really the more information we can get
Yeah.
out into the community, the better it will be. And so we're gonna tackle all sides and gonna roll it out on all fronts. Maybe also try to get it into some of the nationals communities like Korea and into the Spanish community. The Germans, anyway, they have already all the drafts already, but I'm also gonna put it up into the Telegram group and into some Discord groups,
Yeah.
so
I'll
that we
see
get
over
yeah
the weekend.
that's
Yeah.
like
I'll have to cut it quick now. So,
no problem. I think
so
Sorry,
we're good.
just
Yeah. Hmm?
sorry, just wanted to confirm where was it decided that the blog post will be posted now in the end?
No, the blog post will be done by the IOTA by IF. So I
Okay, yeah, I
I
got you.
write it, and once I'll check with Gunnar how we're going to schedule this. But I think like in 2 weeks this should be good to have the blog post going. So then we have like 7 or 10 days it already in the forum for let's say last discussions, and then we will put it up for a poll, and for the poll it should be then also publicly announced by the foundation so that it reaches really everybody in our little bubble, and people can then go to the forum and make their choice in the poll.
Okay, perfect.
perfect.
Okay,
All
everybody.
right.
Thanks, everyone. This was again a nice, productive meeting. And next one will be next Tuesday at 4 p.m. CEST. Until then, have a nice weekend, everybody. And whoever finds time to review the document, please do it and leave your comments there.
Will
Thank
do.
you.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.